Thank you very much. Your MC, right in there with that. Bastard jump love child with a big foot and Lion-O from the Thundercats. Welcome, welcome. Oh, fuck yeah. It's good job I'm not intimidated by large audiences, isn't it? And more people on the bus on the way here. Anyway, I can see some of you I don't know looking at me and thinking, I'll tell you you're wrong, I'm not a member of the BNP. I am a member, a proud member of the MPB, Male Pattern Baldness. See a few of my brothers out there tonight. When we say send them all back, we are asking for the return of our hair follicles. Excuse me if I cough with this, I'm feeling rough as fuck tonight. I've been coughing my guts up all night, I'm coughing all day long with this flu thing. Have you had that? Yeah. I managed to get over it slightly. I've been backstage doing lines of cocaine and Lemsip. I found that's sorted out quite nicely. Don't judge me, please, for being a drug user. You're all drug users, I have to point out. You all eat chocolate. Chocolate is a drug. It releases exactly the same hormones that having sex does. Well, chocolate easy to get, that's married life for you. Heckled by the missus. How fantastic is that? Thank you for your support, darling. I do find, thank you for setting up the next joke. Now, other than being married, I do love being married. It does feel like leading the coalition government now and again, I have to say. Outside in public, it's all smiles and joviality, and behind closed doors, it's all arguments and recrimination, and ultimately, one of you's going to get fucked. I have to say, I don't know how many of you agree with me, David Cameron, I suspect, is actually the second coming of Jesus Christ. Has anyone noticed this? Similar initials, JC, DC, obviously. Jesus famously, of course, ransacked the temple, threw all the money lenders out. David Cameron's told the bankers off for being a bit naughty. Jesus managed to cure Lazarus, raise him from the dead. No. David Cameron's been talking to Mrs. Thatcher. Jesus said to the sick people, "Get off thy bed and walk." And David Cameron's cancelled disability benefits. I have to say I'm mostly informed by the news, mainly the rolling news. I'm addicted to rolling news, Sky News in particular. I know that's quite a sad admission to make. Have you all caught a story recently about the Australian floods? Blink if you can fucking hear me. Did you see the story about the Australian floods? Thank you. Yeah. You probably saw, like I did, all those cars and trees being swept down the road. Yes, thank you, Al. Now, like me, you know exactly why it's so important to tie your kangaroo down. It's terrible. You probably saw before Christmas as well the student riots. I was quite proud of the students, I have to say. I thought that was all quite hilarious, the student riots. What disgusted me though is when they broke into that government building and they smashed the place up and set a few fires. But what really pissed me off is that some of them were seen running in the corridors. Bang out all of the students, I would say. And there was that one cunt sitting on the roof with that fire extinguisher and he lobbed it off. You see that? He got 2.5 years for that last week. The longest detention probably ever given to a student. He is from public school though, so he should be used to conditions similar to prison, which can be slightly less buggery in prison. The other thing they did, of course, they attacked the royal car. Not sure if that divides audiences or not. Again, I thought that was quite funny. I think it was all a bit of a misunderstanding, I have to say. It was one of those Chinese whispers that went a bit wrong. Someone said, "Oh look, it's the Prince and Camilla." And someone else said, "Oh look, it's Principal Skinner." I was quite surprised though. You probably saw that photo of Camilla like this. Yeah, you saw that. Yeah, looking well shot. I was surprised she looked that shot, because usually when she's hit with a stick, she just runs quicker towards the next fence. I'm not a fan of the Royals, as you might have guessed. The only one I did like was Lady Di. I had time for her, felt a bit sorry for her. What was that, Heckle, sir?
Don't wank.
Don't wank. Did that make sense to anyone? Or is it just me?
This is you.
It's just me. As long as you're amusing yourself, then yeah, that's all right. Don't worry. A lot of comedians, when they're heckled, what they tend to do is have, you know, pre-written put-downs where they'll maybe cast aspersions on your parents' heritage, whether they were married at all when you were born, or you know, you may have had sexual liaisons with a member of your family, that kind of thing. I'm not going to do that. I don't believe in that. I think we're all a brotherhood of man. We're all basically essentially humans, aren't we? And so yeah, thank you. So even though you've made an ass of yourself and everyone basically is thinking what a twat you are for having said that, I'm going to say you are my brother and I still love you. You can keep your gob shut for the next 5 minutes, you can't. That would be really appreciated. Thank you very much. Thank you. Obviously a fan of Lady Di at the back there. As I was saying, I was a massive fan of her, mainly because she had bulimia. I felt quite sorry for her, but at least now she's managed to achieve the weight she always wanted to get. Oh, what, too soon? No. Come on. Jesus Christ. I'm not making jokes about a woman who was killed this week, give me a chance. Di didn't live long enough, unfortunately, to see her son get engaged. You probably caught this William proposing to Kate Middleton, and what I found perplexing was that the Rolling News just kept going on and on about the ring. Is the ring lucky? Is the ring unlucky? Should he have given it to her? Shouldn't he have given it to her? Bloody hell. Last time that much attention was lavished on a royal ring is when Prince Edward's boyfriend. The thing I can't stand about Rolling News is the adverts. There's adverts every couple of minutes, do my head in. To the point where I've actually arranged a visit to London Zoo now, so just so I can punch a fucking meerkat right in its face. Why have they got those Russian accents? Since when was the meerkat indigenous to Russia? It would last 2 minutes in Russia. It would be a hat and gloves in Moscow within 2 seconds before you could say "Sippers." I like scaring myself, as I say, by watching the news. The thing I find scary is Al Qaeda. Everyone always goes on about Al Qaeda. I think if they're genuine, if they really want to piss up our entire travel infrastructure, all they really need to do is buy a massive snow machine. That's a grab that one, you'll get that later, don't worry. And they've also got female suicide bombers these days, of course. Presumably they're expecting to get 72 male virgins in the afterlife. I think, why bother blowing yourself up? Go to a comic book convention, there's fucking hundreds of them. Religion cracks me up. Scientologists, I think they're the ones that make me laugh the most. They genuinely believe, you might be aware of this, Scientologists genuinely believe that within each of us there is a dead alien spirit waiting to come out. Amazing belief to have. No more ludicrous than anything else, I suppose, but bizarre. So whereas some religions believe in following the exact word of their religious text, Scientologists believe in following the exact word of the scripture E.T. Each to their own, each to their own. The early days of religion must have been quite fun. If you were born in with some awful disfigurement or disability, if you were unfortunately handicapped in some awful way, the chances are back then at the beginning of time in religion, then you would be ostracised by your community. You might even be completely banished from where you live. And these days, we put those people on X Factor. It's quite easy to spot someone with severe retardation. They're the people who ring up to vote. The other thing I was going to mention to you before I leave is I'm a big fan of 80s rock. There's a massive 80s retro scene going on at the moment. You should probably notice this. I don't think we really need the 80s back again. But the 80s American rock I quite like, because they can get away with song lyrics and song titles in a way that you just can't translate into English. I'll give you an example. There's the tune, "We Built the City on Rock and Roll." Familiar with that? That's typically American, isn't it? We built this city on rock and roll. You couldn't do that here. They wanted to build the city on rock and roll, but unfortunately we couldn't get a plan from the European Commission. And then you've got things like, you know, the Bon Jovi lyric, "You can tell the day by the bottle that you drink." That's a rock hard lyric, yeah. Oh, right, friend of mine. And then of course there's the classic, there's Guns N' Roses, and there's Paradise City. Take me to a paradise city where the grass is green and the girls are pretty. Welcome to Hackney. That's all for me. I've been Rick. Thank you very much.